So it's been a couple of days since the initial VShojo drama and essentially the first video that came out from Ironmouse. And if you don't remember, Ironmouse obviously came up with a video explaining the fact that she was leaving VShojo, and that was due to a lot of money mishandling, where essentially they withheld over $500,000 from charity and also money from herself. And also it came out later on that they were withholding money from sponsors and merch from other VTubers as well, which obviously caused the downfall of VShojo that you guys know today. But essentially, it seems like we have a couple more comments from Mouse on this situation, which is very interesting and obviously provides us a little bit more context behind how she's feeling during all of this going on, and also some other things moving forwards, including the fact that she also thought about graduating, which I thought was pretty insane. But let's start off with the comments that was on Athel's stream. Obviously, if you guys don't know, Athelstan, Lord Athelstan, is a VTuber who is obviously partners with Nyanners, and obviously he went on to stream talking about the entire situation, and Mouse was in the chat obviously leaving a couple of comments and stuff, and obviously it was pretty heartbreaking to look at, because obviously as you can see here, it says, Mouse, the amount of lies I was fed while he looked me directly in the eyes, my trust and my heart is broken beyond repair. It says, I would be told certain things about people, and I'd feel like I was losing my sanity because they were fine with me when we spoke, but they wouldn't. But they would tell me they hated me, so I started questioning my reality. Even people I worked with, and I was like, what? I just saw them at an event. What do you mean? They would tell me artists hated me. So obviously, yeah, this is going into how VShojo obviously manipulated a lot of their talents behind the scenes and tried to manipulate them into hating each other, or to liking each other, or to essentially just being very, insecure about, what was going on with other talents. Because as you can imagine, if you've got some person, especially someone you really trust, telling you that, no, this VTuber hates you, this artist hates you, this, this artist's been talking stuff behind your back and things like that, obviously you're going to be inclined to believe them, or at least take it into account, and whenever you're talking to someone else. And it can be very mentally, you can mentally struggle whenever it comes to this kind of stuff, because again, obviously, as Ironmouse says, whenever she talks to the people directly, they were totally fine. And obviously, sometimes you can feel like maybe they were putting it on, maybe they secretly hated them, they were just being nice to them, and obviously that can just kind of go in the back of your mind, which can cause you to go pretty insane and feel like you're going insane, which obviously shows you how kind of manipulative the VShojo staff were behind the scenes whenever doing this kind of stuff. Now obviously, as well, what we knew about, for example, with the Vebe situation and with kind of Nyanners and people like that, we saw that they were also being talked bad about to other VTubers and Silverveil as well, whenever they all left. And essentially what VShojo did was they made them leave, not talk to any of the talent, and then, tell them that they were greedy and stuff to a lot of the kind of members, as well as some of the members as well. They exposed the fact that sometimes they would like put members up against each other in like a kind of leaderboard system type thing, like saying this person's doing better than you should be doing as good as them, and also this person doesn't like you, or this person's been doing that. And obviously you could kind of tell, what kind of situation it was, because it's obviously terrible, all the money lost and how mishandled the company was in terms of financial stuff and everything like that. But also you got to think about it from like a mental level as well, where they were kind of just manipulating all of these VTubers in a group, which is a completely different can of worms, And obviously she's even saying down here that they would tell her that artists hated her as well, and it seems like there's some stuff going on with artists too. I also saw a post from Kuro, which essentially was talking about an artist that was essentially like making lots of designs and stuff for merch, and they were making merch, they're like merch makers. I'm not sure exactly what they did, but essentially they were pitching ideas to VShojo, and VShojo were very on board, and they wanted to buy the design, which obviously disappointed the artist a little bit due to the fact, or the artist or the merch maker or whatever, they disappointed them due to the fact of, they wanted to be able to produce it themselves and kind of get on board with it, but they just kind of wanted to take it off their hands. And then after all of that kind of happened, they didn't really get to a deal or anything. And obviously, I think they actually did sell the design over to them, and but they never used it. And well, like they came out about this information recently, and Kuro even said like, oh, I never even knew that you made this jacket. And obviously they said they've still got a copy of the jacket they initially made, so hopefully they can get that sorted out. But you can see how, VShojo just keeps things from certain streamers, including, Kuro, including Mouse and people like that, kind of telling them that artists and merch people also don't want to interact with them or hate them or whatever. And that can obviously be very mentally taxing. People saying don't want to make assumptions, but they probably did similar stuff to Nyanners when she left, and it's why they stopped collabing. Nyanners literally mentioned this in her stream, so yeah. I mean, they're saying it's really relieving knowing that Aethel and Nyan are still friends with Mousy, which, yeah, is definitely true, because whenever this first kind of went ahead, and whenever Nyanners was leaving, it was very weird, because, obviously, Mouse and Nyanners stopped talking as much. They used to be really, really close whenever, VShojo was going on and everything, and it's great, but then they stopped talking as much after Nyanners left, and I thought maybe that it was due to, like, a friendship thing. Maybe they just kind of parted ways, which obviously was, it sucked. But obviously, yeah, it seems like it was just due to a lot of the manipulation behind the scenes from VShojo, and also them, not allowing them to talk with certain people and things. So I'm glad that obviously they can kind of sort something out there, because again, they did have a really good dynamic going on there, and hope that they can do more content now that they're kind of indie. They said the collabs of them with Connor was what drew me to Mouse. Those four were one of the best streaming groups back in the day, which, yeah, was 100% true. It was really great to see that. I think a lot of people were kind of like reflecting on that. They were saying this only fuels my suspicion that the company is what drove a wedge between her and Silver. They said, pretty sure what happened, I've heard at some point that she maybe threw a bit of shade at Mouse, but who knows what the staff were telling Silver about Mouse. Yeah, exactly. A lot of this stuff, you can't really go into it in too much detail, because you don't know how much is made up. There's a lot of kind of rumors and things that have been floating around, and obviously a lot of that has been made by VShojo themselves, in terms of trying to, put these VTubers against each other, rather than it being legitimate, actual kind of, accusations or like hatred or whatever towards another person. But also, we have this clip as well. Obviously, Ironmouse thought about graduating. This is a clip from her stream, her first stream back to be like an indie VTuber, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, with this new model being used. And essentially, she discusses the personal challenges and reconnects with a lot of the old friends. Sorry, obviously, I'm guessing including Nyanners and Aethel and people like that, which again is great to see as a old fan of that group. They said that she revealed that she's experiencing a mental crisis due to uncovering past events and information, which obviously we know what has been happening. And obviously, yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to mentally cope with a lot of that kind of stuff. But hopefully, she can get along and keep streaming. Obviously, that stream where she came back, she was with Connor, kind of talking about some pretty fun stuff and just having a good time. So it's good to see that there's a little bit of just a good side taken from it. And she hopes to disclose the sensitive topic soon, because obviously, there's a lot of different topics which hasn't even been said yet. Like, let's be real, this is not even the start of the drama, or I don't want to call it drama, like the situation. It's not even the start of the situation, There's still so much more to come out, because they haven't been able to talk about it due to lawsuits and NDAs and things. So again, more is going to come out, whether that's soon, whether that's in a couple of weeks, I don't know. But obviously, I'll be covering it all, so don't forget to stick around. Obviously, they say Ironmouse also addresses accusations against her, stating their opinions, and she feels wrongly blamed. They said her lawyer found her return stream entertaining and is assisting with her complex issues. She also expresses exhaustion from lack of sleep and requests a break from agency-related emails and DMs. So, yeah, apparently she's been getting a lot of DMs and a lot of emails, obviously, in support and things, or asking what's going on and any way that people can help, which obviously is great, and it's great to see there's been a lot of support, but obviously it can get a little bit tiring and very overwhelming if you've got a lot of people asking you, what happened. So again, obviously she asks that people leave her alone for a little bit. Which again, I think is fine, and I think that if you want to support her or you want to like help her out, I think the only way you can do that really is through the Tiltify link, and just donating to the charity, because I think that's going to be the thing that helps out most, or obviously donating to stream and stuff. I think some of that money is going towards the IDF, at least for the subathon that she's planning, or the stream that she's planning that's going to raise money for the IDF, which again is great. Obviously, she thanks her audience and stuff, and admits that the past 5 years, she feels like the past 5 years have been a lie, and despite considering quitting, she affirms that she's not going to be quitting, and notes an increase in her female audience, which is quite funny. Obviously, yeah, so again, she thought about graduating at one point, but again, it seems like obviously she's going to be continuing, which I think is good, and obviously, it's great to see that she's going to be staying in the community and sticking to streaming, because again, that's what she's good at, and I mean, she originally started it for fun and to have something to do while obviously she is like quite bedridden. So obviously, hopefully it still provides more fun to do. Obviously, I can definitely tell, you know, that it probably doesn't feel that great at the moment, and you know, this fun thing that you were doing to kind of, you know, keep yourself occupied and things has now become this very serious thing. Obviously it probably doesn't feel the best, but hopefully she can get back into the swing of things as an indie and just kind of move past a lot of this. Obviously after all of the law kind of stuff has passed, they say you know, she reassures her viewers that she's stubborn and she won't leave. So yeah, I mean, that's great. Obviously people saying, I mean, I can't blame her for considering that. Obviously, yeah, I don't blame her either. I don't think anybody blames them, and I don't blame her for obviously you know, going indie as well. Like, a lot of people were saying, oh, will she move to a different company? Honestly, I think indie is the best option at the moment. There aren't very many great groups out there at the moment to really join, and I think Ironmouse has the audience and the kind of connections to successfully be indie. She doesn't need a group, like a group, unless she wanted to do kind of bigger kind of things. But even then, I think she's got the right resources to help out, and she can always join some other things that are maybe less like VShojo, because obviously we got like groups like Hololive, Niji Sanji, you know, places like that, which obviously can be still be quite predatory depending on things. And obviously, you know, you have to follow a lot of rules. But then you could also, you know, because obviously the plus sides of agencies and things is the fact they can help you with events, help you with costs with certain things or whatever. I think one of the plus sides is that, you know, obviously she knows people like Connor, who are a part of Geeks Plus, who obviously they can deal with events and things as well. And also she's connected to other people, for example, like Mythic, who can probably get into contact with stuff like that as well. There's so many different contacts that she has, and so many different people that she can talk to about that kind of stuff. I think she'll be fine. She won't need someone like VShojo. You know, she won't need to sign some big ass contract just because, you know, she wants to do an event or a concert or whatever. But even then, you know, you might not even need those connections. She could probably do it, you know, not herself, but, you know, she'll probably hire some people to help her out with that as well. But again, you know, we'll just have to wait and see what kind of happens with that going forwards. But even Connor even talked about it in a clip. It's literally like a 10-second clip. Obviously, he said that it's open to everybody. So, you know, there is a chance that she could join Geeks Plus. But obviously, he said that, you know, it's not exactly pressuring her to do it or anything. You know, she doesn't have to. And she, you know, they're accepting, but also other places are accepting, and anywhere could really take her in if she even wants to in the first place. But yeah, I mean, obviously, it seems like things are going to look up a little bit more. Obviously, it's a little bit disheartening seeing a lot of those kind of comments and things, but I think overall things are looking a little bit better, and there's been a lot of support going over our way. But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off again. They've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, see ya.